What is up, everyone? How are you guys doing today? We haven't posted a video in about a week. Destiny has got the better of us, but we are here with some more questions. People's been asking questions, suggesting that we do another get to know you video. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Cliff.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well today. As Bianca said, there were several people that said, hey, y'all answered a lot of good questions, told us a little bit about yourself, but there were a lot of things that we'd like to know that y'all didn't answer. So those questions we wrote down on our little cheat sheet that I printed up, and we're gonna ask the question, and then we're going to each answer the question, assuming it pertains to both of us.
Right.
So with that being said, let's get started. Question numero uno. What are your favorite video games? This question is for both of you guys.
My favorite video game right now is probably Destiny 2 and Outlast 2. So?
She also likes Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, but I haven't played it in a while.
But it's still your favorite game?
Okay.
For me, I would definitely have to say the new games would be Destiny and Destiny 2. My all-time favorite video game, hands down, Ultima 4 Quest of the Avatar. Back in 1986, I think it was when it was released. RPG, role-playing game. It's really the game that just captured my heart of all video games, even though I've been playing video games since the 70s. So I'm a little old, yeah, I'm showing my age, but you know, it is what it is. But those are my favorites. Destiny 2 has really got me hooked right now. I was a big Destiny 1 fan. We've been playing the hell out of Destiny 2. Hours and hours. We've probably already sunk in 120, 130 hours each already.
Yes.
A little crazy. We don't have a life.
No.
So question number 2. Cliff, why are you a huge Android person? You know, that's really a good question. Since around 2002, I've been an open source person. So I was a Linux user back in the day, back before all the GUI, that's graphical user interface stuff, was around and about. It wasn't as point and click as Windows was back then, or even as Linux is now today. It was about having more power and control of your system. And that's just something that always intrigued me. And with Android following in that suit, being open source like that, that really just pulled me in. I just really always felt Android was ahead of the game as far as not just the open source, but because of the open source, the customization. What you as a user could do easily without having full control of your device, being rooted and stuff like that. As many of y'all know, I do work for a very large Android app in the Google Play Store. So obviously I use Android every day. But what a lot of you don't know is I do use iOS on a pretty regular basis. Not as much as Android, but I do go through my phases where I use iOS for several months at a time sometimes. Of course, I still have to use Android, again, because of my job. I have to. I can't get away from that. Not that I want to get away from that. But I do. There's ups and downs and goods and bads to both of them. I own an iPhone 7 Plus. I'm waiting for the iPhone X. Or the iPhone 10 as Apple calls it. I'm waiting on my Apple Watch Series 3 to get here. Some folks sitting at this table, we won't mention any names, already has her Apple Watch. She just got it the other day.
Yeah, I love it.
So, but yeah, I'm a really huge Android fan. Some of you have seen my Android collection, Android mini figurine collection. One day I'll have to show that on camera. It's growing. There'll be a new one here tomorrow. Maybe I can show y'all that. Whoops, wasn't supposed to mention that. But anyway, that's why I'm a huge Android fan, but I'm not just an Android fan. I love all things technology, all things tech. If it beeps, if it makes sounds, that's me. So that's that. So the next question kind of follows suit, but this one's going to be for Bianca. Bianca, why are you such a huge Apple/iOS fan?
Probably because of the UI. It's just unique. It's better than Android. The app format is just so much better. Android camera is shitty. I think it has a shitty quality. I think iOS has... They're just so great. So...
To touch on that, as far as the apps and the UI, I totally agree. Because Apple is a lot more... They have a lot more constraints over what Google has, what Google has over Android. So the app ecosystem in iOS is beautiful. Hands down, a lot better to work with and to use as a user, especially as a user who may not be real tech oriented or anything. So that part I would agree with. The camera part, up until recently, yes, that was true. With the Google Pixel and the Pixel XL, that has really changed. I think with the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL, or whatever it is that they're going to be calling this, I don't think it's going to overtake the Apple's camera on the iPhones. But again, I think it's going to be relatively comparable, just like it is today.
No.
Hands down, I still think iOS is better when it comes to the camera. And I think the iPhone 10 is going to get a little bit better than what the iPhone 7, iPhone 8s are, if that's possible. In the end, iOS wins in that department.
Yes.
In both departments that she mentioned. So I would agree with that. And that's part of why I like to use Apple as well. So,
okay.
Question number 4. Do you guys have a favorite cartoon and or a TV show?
My favorite cartoon would have to be SpongeBob. I love SpongeBob. My favorite show would have to be Pretty Little Liars. It just ended after 7 years and I'm so sad. Stop.
Any other shows?
No.
Oh, she's crying. She can't talk anymore. Sorry about that. My favorite cartoon or TV show, that's really a tough one. I had to really think about the cartoon because being a little bit older, there's a lot of good old cartoons back in the day. Garfield, He-Man, Looney Tunes. But I guess if I really had to choose, my favorite cartoon would be Tom and Jerry. And then my favorite TV shows, and this is really a toss-up because these 3 are really my favorite. Sons of Anarchy, 24, any of the 24s from day 1 up until the new stuff that just ended earlier this year, and Prison Break. Those are probably my 3 favorite shows. And if I had to choose an order... Anyway, question number 5. What are your favorite cartoon characters and or TV show characters?
My favorite cartoon character would have to be Patrick off of SpongeBob. He's just so dumb and it's just so funny to watch. My favorite character on a TV show would have to be Ezra and Arya from Pretty Little Liars. You know about it because you watched it.
No. This part will be edited out.
No, it
I
won't.
never watched an episode.
Yes, you have.
Couldn't tell you nothing about that.
Oh, okay.
So what's my favorite cartoon character or TV show characters? Cartoon characters were easy for me. Marvin the Martian and Chilly Willy the Penguin. As far as favorite TV show character, I went with Jack Bauer from 24 when Kiefer Sutherland was playing, and Michael Schofield from Prison Break. Again, 2 of my favorite shows. I guess if I really had to throw one in there from Sons of Anarchy, I'd probably have to say Jax on Sons of Anarchy. Would probably be my favorite. Maybe actually even Juice, because he was a loner and people didn't like him and stuff like that. But anyway, question number 6. What are your favorite movies, both of y'all?
My favorite movie is either Love and Basketball or The Notebook. Stop.
The Notebook.
The Notebook.
Like where you like write your notes and stuff? Oh.
See, this is going downhill fast.
Wasn't that like a Nicholas Sparks movie?
Yes.
See there? Good book. I don't know about the movie. Never saw the movie.
You need to watch it.
Well, I've seen a lot of the movie. I haven't seen all the movie. Good movie. Well, what I did see was good, but the book, hands down, better than the video than the.
Well, books are always better than the movie. So.
And Android was based on a book, therefore Androided. Question number 7: would you guys get another cat, or would you get a dog at some point?
At some point, not right now. Probably after Bess passes away, because she doesn't do well with other animals at all.
Or humans, really.
The only human she really likes is me and Cliff. So.
And my dad.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that. Bess is very territorial and very protective.
Very.
We've actually brought some dogs, some like the neighbor's dog into the house one time. We've brought a couple of the kittens. We have a lot of stray cats around here that my dad feeds, and they've had a lot of kittens. And we brought a couple of kittens in to let her see them, check them out, because we were actually thinking about keeping one of the kittens, taking it to the vet and stuff like that.
She wasn't having it at all.
Bess is our only animal, so that answers that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for me, definitely after, like I said, after Bess dies. But then I would also kind of like to have a dog, like a little Pomeranian, a miniature Schnauzer, depending on where I lived. If I had a big backyard or a backyard that he could go out in. But I don't know for sure if I would do that. Definitely a cat, though. Definitely. Question number 8, Bianca. Do you like sports?
I like sports. I used to play a lot of sports when I was in school. I wrestled, I played basketball, I ran track. I don't like watching sports, though. I can't watch sports. I just can't get into it. There's just something about it. There's just something about it that I just don't get into.
So while this question wasn't really aimed at me, it was really just aimed for Bianca specifically, but myself, I'm a big sports fan.
We all know.
I love all sports except for college basketball. I can't stand college basketball. I don't watch a lot of basketball, period, but I do keep up with the playoffs, the finals, stuff like that. It's all about the Miami Heat. I'm a big NASCAR fan. I love NASCAR. Tony Stewart, I mentioned this.
This question wasn't aimed for you, so can we next?
So anyway.
Next question.
I was a big Tony Stewart fan. Miss him. But I'm a diehard Houston Texans fan. I mentioned that in the last video, so I won't
so
go
we
into that.
know.
So everybody
So next
knows.
question, please.
So my Texans won today.
Next
57-14.
question, please.
What's been the scariest moment in your life?
Mine would probably have to be this guy at my apartment complex actually fell because he was drunk. And in our apartment complex, there was like nothing but concrete and then just like carpet just laid over the concrete. So one of my friends knocked on my door and was like, this guy is bleeding on my floor. Can you come help me? So I went over there, and when I went into the apartment, this guy was just laying on the floor. He was like, I guess like snoring. That's what it sounded like anyway. And he was like bleeding out of his ear. That was the scariest moment ever of my life.
Scary stuff. For the record, she did call 911. So.
I didn't.
Well,
fuck
somebody
me.
called 911.
I
But
got
anyway.
the fuck up out of there.
Scariest moment of my life. You know, this was a really tough question because thankfully, never really had any scary moments that I can think of. Never like fallen and like seriously hurt myself or almost hurt myself. I've been in some car wrecks, nothing major. But I guess the scariest thing, if I really had to sit and think about it, would be when my first kid was born. He was actually born with the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. Thankfully, it wasn't tight. It was wrapped around his neck twice. It was loose, so there was no quote-unquote screaming emergency to pull him out and cut the umbilical cord or nothing. But as a parent, when you're seeing, especially, I mean, it's any child, but especially your first child come out and he's got an umbilical cord, you hear so many things about that. It's just an instantly scary thing to happen. So, question 10, what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal would have to be Bess.
Hi, Bess.
I don't really have another favorite animal because she's my favorite animal. So a cat named Bess. A black cat named Bess. She's about 20 pounds.
Pushing 22 pounds.
Yeah, she's very big.
My favorite animal, most of my life, has been penguins and zebras. Two things that really just catch my eye, that I'm just fascinated by. It goes back to the whole cartoon character, Chilly Willy the penguin. Just something I've always been fascinated by. I'm not really sure why, but it's been like that as far back as I can ever remember. It's been like that. And with that said, I would have to agree with Bianca. The Bess is probably my favorite pet that I've ever had. Maybe the second, because I had a dog, a Saint Bernard. That would probably be my first, but she's a very, very, very close second. Love her to death. She's going on 10 years old. Eventually she's going to pass away and it's going to be a sad day, but that,
yes,
we're not going to get into that. So the final question, and actually we're going to make, this was really geared towards me specifically, but we're going to make this a two-part question for both. We're going to make it a question for both of us. We're going to let Bianca answer first, like she's been, because I don't think that she really touched on this in the first video. So the question is what's your favorite genre of music?
Rap.
That's not your favorite John, like Elton John,
Elton
Legend.
John. Rap. I like Future. I like Nicki. I like Chris Brown. Stop.
Oh.
Rap. Probably country as well. I don't really listen to much of it, but rap would have to be by far my favorite.
A little bit older country. Older as in like,
yeah,
not the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years of
yeah,
country, because it's really not country. So
yeah.
My favorite genre of music, you know, this is tough because I'm a big music person. I listen to music all day, every day, and I listen to everything except for, well, I say I listen to everything except, I listen to everything, even some of the stuff that this one listens to. Because some of it is okay. Some of it's catchy, or some of it's, oh god, good, I guess.
Migos, Slippery.
Yeah, I mean there's some stuff in there, but I like all genres of music except for, or I guess I would really have to say my least favorite, hands down, is all this new school rap, R&B stuff. A lot of it's good, or some of it's good. I'm not going to say a lot of it. Some of it's good. I mean, it just depends. But if I had to pick one single genre that was my favorite, I mean, I'm an old guy. I mean, look at me, man. Come on. I would definitely have to say the hair bands from the 80s. Because that's what I grew up. I mean, that was my teenage years. That's what life was about, was the new wave dance music and the 80s hair bands. She likes some of it too, just like I do like some of her.
I don't like no damn, I don't even know what a hairband is.
Poison.
Hairband? Like the shit you put in your hair?
So anyway, so if I had to pick my favorite, I'd have to say the 80s hair bands.
Probably got some 80s hair bands in there.
But I don't have hair.
I do though.
Oh, so anyway, so those were the questions. Those came from DJ Bloodhawk mainly. We threw in a couple other questions maybe along the way. Maybe we didn't.
No,
I don't know.
think these are all his questions.
These may be all from him. So thank you, DJ.
Asked a lot of questions.
He did, and they were a lot of good questions.
Yeah,
so
really
DJ, definitely thank you. DJ's been a fan of ours for quite some time, back in our streaming days when we streamed on Twitch.
He likes me better though, so.
Yeah, he met her first, I think, somehow. Anyway, y'all don't forget to hit the like button down below, the thumbs up, whatever it's called. It's one of those buttons down there. And of course, please, 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 if you like our channel, if you like our content,
hit
if you
that,
like this great thing right here, this great lovely
hit
lady,
that subscribe
please
button.
hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, we have announced in all of our videos, once we hit 100 subscribers, we are going to do a giveaway of some kind. We don't know what yet. So with that said, we'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.